Hi, everyone. It's Lynn from DevineCentral. It's sometime between Christmas and New Year's 2025, and I am trying to get back in the swing of doing long videos for this channel. So today I want to talk to you about my go-to spreads. Now, most professionals have go-to spreads. They might have one, they might have five, but usually it's a small handful. Now, there is a small faction of professional readers that do read on the fly, meaning they don't have any spreads at all. If you are a newbie just starting out, I highly recommend that you find a spread that you're comfortable with one at a time and get to know it intimately. If you believe that the cards are spirit driven, as I do, then you will find that spirit is going to lay messages in your path. They're going to put certain cards in certain positions because they know how you're going to read those positions. And that can be very helpful to you, and that can help you move on and become more accurate faster in your journey, if you will. Okay, let me switch cameras and I will show you the three that are my go-to. Today I'm going to be using the Ehrenberg Tarot, kind of a cute little deck. And here we go. My number one spread that I use is the Celtic Cross. Now, there are people that will tell you that it's too hard to learn. And by the way, I have a video on that. It's probably the most watched video on my channel, I think. It's called The Celtic Cross is Not Hard. I will put it down below. But if people think it's too big and too long, I have another video called The Celtic Cross in 5 minutes. No way. And I will put that down below as well. And I actually set a timer for 5-minute countdown and show you several times that you can get a really good reading with this spread in 5 minutes or less. Okay, so the Celtic Cross is deemed hard because a lot of the positions people can't relate to. And what I've learned over time is, hey, if you change one or two or half the positions, and all of a sudden it gets comfortable, then you can use it. I ask Spirit to kind of give me the lay of the land. I want to know what's going on with this querent. And so I love to start with this spread, okay? Here is the subject. This is what's going on with this person, whether they want to tell me or not. This is the obstacle. This is what stands in their way, okay? Where did all this come from anyway? It came from here. This is the foundation. This is the energy that's leaving. This is the energy. This is what's on your mind. Okay. A lot of cups. This is the energy that is coming in, right? And then I use the staff as messages from spirit, mainly because I have, is that going to kind of be a problem? Let me get rid of this light. Okay. Makes it kind of dark. Sorry, but makes it better. Anyway, I have a hard time looking at 10 cards and getting my head wrapped around whatever it is that I want to go with. So I like to save these. To me, this is what's actually going on now and what they will be encountering. And I think it makes it a lot easier. Let's set this aside and talk about what we have here, okay? And this is just going to be really, really brief because I just want to show the spread. The page to me is, well, because it's in this position, or if it's in a number 10 position, to me, it's always a person. This is about somebody younger than the querent. And for whatever reason, it must be someone on their mind because this is what the spirit wants to talk about. Where does this come from? It comes from the King of Cups. How did this whole thing start? The thinking about this young person, it came from the fact that there is either this is a father and it's his son, or this is this could be the owner of a company who's having trouble with a younger employee. For whatever reason, it is, I just feel like it's some kind of a problem or an obstacle between these two. And interestingly enough, we have the Four of Cups that crosses, that's the obstacle. And so to me, it's like we can't wrap our heads around it. We're empathetic. We're not, we're looking at our own, stupid problems and not trying to open up and bring people together and relate between the two of these people. All right. So the world, right? It's like somebody listen, somebody deserves something. They worked for it, they deserved it, and they didn't get it. And so it's in the past, right? It's the energy that's leaving is them actually, getting their just reward. And if you look at what's on your mind, this is about two people. And two people had, this is two people that have some type of a really strong bond together. And would that not be father son? Would that not be boss employee, right? So it all kind of pans together, right? It's really interesting. Where are we? Where's the energy going? The energy is the energy that's coming in is the Knight of Swords. So this is something cerebral. This is a plan of action. This is something mental that needs action. So something's going to happen, whether it's good or bad, at least that's going to shake things up and I think just get the ball rolling again. If there's been some kind of stagnation with this four, I think that might happen. Okay, because I don't read reversals, my number 2 position and my number 7 position are shadow side of whatever card comes up. So I look at this as, okay, what are you going to do to sabotage the situation? Or what are you going to do to make the situation worse? We have the 10 of Cups. And honestly, can you make the situation worse? I don't think so. I think that these two cards typically go together because whatever's on your mind is usually how you want to handle a situation. And how you handle a situation is probably the way you've handled it before or the way you always handle it because that's what works for you. Okay. So singing Kumbaya and dancing around the fire pit has always worked for you. Well, maybe it's not going to work for you this time. Maybe what you need to do, if this is a father-son situation, is maybe what you need to do is stand up and stand your ground, and not be such a weenie. Okay, maybe that's what it's going to take, is standing up to the old man for the first time in your life. The energy around you or what surrounds you is people are seeing a new beginning for you, either home, health, or money. They are seeing that, little bits of trying to work things out, little bits of doing your part, I think will help benefit you in this situation. And that's how other people see it, or it wouldn't show up there. What is the advice from spirit? Oh my God. Okay. So we have the page, we have the king, and we have the queen, right? Okay. Take your mother's advice. What was it? Did your mother say, get along with your father? Did your mother say, stand up and get a pair? I mean, what did she say? Because I think that I think that the compassion of your mother and the insights of your mother is what is going to help you propel past this situation. So what do we see down the road? What's coming? What does the road look like for you? It looks like the Queen of Wands. And that, to me, again, if there's a court card in position 1 or 10, to me, they're always people. So there's somebody else in the mix that's going to help with this. And I don't know who that would be, but someone's going to come up with a real creative solution that's going to resolve your issues. Now, last card of the deck, bottom of the deck, the 3 of Pentacles. You got to work together with people to make this work out for you. Okay, that is my Celtic Cross. I use it literally all the time. It's kind of like my only number 1, right? But if I am doing a 20-minute reading and I can answer all their questions or whatever is coming up in one reading, but it doesn't meet the 20 minutes, and they have another question completely unrelated, then I would pull a 5 card. Here is my 5 card. So what is the subject? Well, first place, I was going to pick something here. I have 600 questions for your tarot practice in my Etsy shop. Literally 600 questions, folks. Okay. So I pulled out a bunch of them, and what I wanted to do is grab one. Let's read this a little after the fact here, but what needs to come to an end in my life? What is no longer serving me? Okay. We get the 5 of Swords, right? Okay. What precipitates that? How did we get there, right? What's the backstory? It's the 5 of Pentacles. What will help the situation? What will hinder the situation? Advice from spirit. Okay. So let's see what we have here. All right. So obviously, swords are mental, and I'm going to kind of break this down for the newbies in the viewership. Fives are or I'm sorry, swords are about intellect, right? It's what we think. It's how we communicate what we think. Fives are about conflicts and about challenges that we're facing. This is a mental challenge. Doesn't that make sense? Okay, so if you pair that with, where did this come from? It comes from some type of a setback, either at your home, in your finances, or your health, right? Because it's a pentacle. So it's also a challenge. It's also some type of a conflict. I my go-to for this is a setback. It's either a financial setback or a setback with your home or your health. Okay. So some type of setback has caused you mental anguish, right? And and it could be causing you to take shortcuts. It could be causing you to maybe, lie or misrepresent something in order to get your way because this mental anguish is driving you crazy. What's going to help you? Well, here we have my favorite card in the whole deck, which is the Nine of Pentacles. I love this card because this is the card of feeling comfortable in your own skin, right? It's if you're a woman, you don't need a man in your life to take care of you, to make you whole. Likewise, if you are a man, same thing. You don't need a woman to define who you are, or to define your worth. So you've made it. You have gotten this far. You've done it successfully. You haven't done it without having setbacks in the past. So the card is telling you, if you want to help yourself, look back to previous times when you had setbacks, realize how you got over them, and use them to move forward. What is it that can hinder you? We have the Knight of Cups. All right, so it's not my favorite card. It can be about travel. It can be about invitations and proposals. But to me, this guy's kind of a player, and he's kind of a trickster. And I don't know. He's just not my favorite guy. And I am thinking that if you have a problem, somebody else might see it as a weakness in you and might want to step in and make a proposal about something and how they can step in and help you take care of something, and then basically, I don't know, take advantage of you in some way. However, if instead, let's say, you really hate where you live, and that's all you can do is talk about how you hate where you live, and you have been in financial dire straits ever since you moved there, and that's given you a really bad taste, and that's why you bitch all the time about where you're living. So you need to start looking at how you're going to get around it, right? How you're going to improve the situation. Instead of complaining about the problem, start looking at the solution. But, is traveling, is maybe a change of scenery or a change of venue, is that going to benefit you? This card says it's not. It's not. There's something else going on you need to fix. A move isn't going to do it, is what I'm saying. Okay, so what is the advice from Spirit? We have the Seven of Pentacles, right? This is one of those things where, you've planted the seed, you've moved here, you've done everything you can, and now you got to sit and wait, and you got to let nature take over. You got to let the process take its course. But while you're waiting, you start having, I don't know, second thoughts, right? And you're second guessing yourself. This is where being tested and retested comes in. The card is saying you need to have some patience, my friend. And at last word from Spirit, bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit, right? And the Hermit is saying, guess what? However this problem is going to get fixed, it's going to be you, buddy. It's going to be you that's going to have to do it, because you're going to be alone. You're alone in all this, but you know what? You're the one that has the answer. You're the one that has the solution. So that's what you have to go after. All right. So this is my 5 card, and this is the second one I do. If I'm all done, it's been 20 minutes. These people have, let's say they have another question. It's like, oh, okay, really quick. What's your question? And then I would pull a 3 card. And if they still said, yeah, well, and I'll say, well, thank you for the reading, I'm done. And if they say, well, gosh, would this happen or would that happen? If that happened, I might then just pull 1 card and be done. Okay. My third go-to spread. So my first one is the Celtic Cross, 10 cards. My last one, or my second one is the 5 card. But I have an 8 card options spread that I truly, truly love. Get my glasses. Let's grab something here. Is this a good time for me to retire? We could use. Will Will I be getting excited about life again? How am I perceived? Okay, let's just stick with this one. Glenn wants to know, is this a good time for me to retire? Okay, so gee, Glenn, let's take a look at this. Here's my 8 card. Okay, we're going to ask Spirit, please give us a sign of the direction that we need to go. Okay, let's say that you do not retire. What would your life look like moving forward over the, say, next 6 to 12 months if you do not retire? What is it going to look like? We're going to lay 3 cards for that. Okay. Right. What would it look like if you just threw it in, put in your 2 weeks notice, retired tomorrow? What would that look like? And can we get a little bit of advice from Spirit on whatever we have left, right? Let's see, what do we have? Okay, I'm not going to show that. All right. Is Spirit with us? We're asking, should he retire? Is this a good time to retire? Ace of Cups. There you go. This is our direction, right? Something new, the new beginning of something heartfelt, the new beginning of something passionate starting in your life. This is getting to start all over, right? This is our do-over. We're so excited. We're so happy about that. All right. If you decide to stay on the job, for at least for now, what do we have? Page of Swords, 9 of Cups, and the 5 of Wands. All right. So, Page, to me, because it's not the attribute of a person, although it could be. This could be training in your new person. If you decide to stay on the job for a while, you could be training in your new person, because that would be an analytical thing or a thought process thing to do. But to me, pages are about changing direction. And so this is saying, well, we're going to stay the course for right now, but you're always going to be thinking about that change of direction that you want. And honestly, I think you're happy where you are. I think that's why you're questioning whether or not this is the right time to retire for you, because I think that, you've had a great run at this company. I mean, come on, this is your all your wishes come true card, right? I think you've had that. And maybe if you stay on the job and you end up finally hitting that point in your 401k where you're fully vested, would that not provide enough extra money to make all your wishes come true? Got to think about that, right? Okay, so we have the 5 of Wands, which tells us that, it might be a little competitive. So maybe somebody young will be coming in that you're going to have to work with, that might cause some mental, I don't know, competition for you. Maybe somebody annoying is going to come along, and you would otherwise be happy if that person hadn't come along and created a little bit of strife for you. But I see that, competition, and it doesn't have to be bad competition, but I don't think at this point in your career you're really interested in that anymore. Let's say that you decide to leave. Oh, we have another it's a page of Pentacles. So now we're still looking at, hey, this change of direction pertaining to home. Maybe you might be moving. And you've got the 8 of Swords, which is, you're kind of stuck in one lane of thinking, right? You're kind of stuck on how maybe retirement ought to look, and maybe maybe it's not what you thought it was going to be. And so now you're kind of, looking back, you're not looking at the bigger picture. You're not looking forward at all the good things. Maybe now you're kind of focusing on, oh crap, I got all these things now I have to do at home, right? I've got to fix this and build that and renovate this or that. Anyway, the 6 of Cups. Eventually, harmony will be restored, and I think you'll be content. So I think you would be content if you retired now. I don't think it would be a bad thing. And to me, the Ace of Cups and the 6 of Cups are going to be your big factors on that. Any advice from Spirit with regard to this? 10 of Pentacles. You know what? You're going to get to spend more time with your family, and you're going to be secure, and you're going to be safe. So I'm saying we're leaning toward doing it. All right. These, believe it or not, are my 3 go-tos. So I would love to know what your go-tos are. If you could put something in the comments, I would like to know, and just a brief description of why you use that or what caused you to start using that. And please take a look at the videos that I've put down below. Also, please follow me on social media. I am now in the McAllen, Texas market. I'm doing by appointment only readings, but I'm also doing these online. So this is what you would get if you met with me online. All right, then, take care and have a great and safe New Year's. Bye bye.